Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today we're going to talk about interaction. Presen o master shimashou. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We're beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anatamo, Presen no Tachijin. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni Suru wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan Series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 385, and today we're talking about recruit your audience when presenting in Japan. Almost 100% of presentations that I see in Japan are one-directional. The audience sits there passively and the speaker presents to them. There's no interaction with the audience. I was watching an interview with Clint Eastwood in his approach as a movie director. He was talking about his famous Western, The Unforgiven, and talking about how he shot some key scenes such that the faces of the actors were in the shadows and not fully revealed. I can't remember exactly how he expressed it, but he said, "You don't have to show the whole face with full lighting because the audience is intelligent. They can fill in the gaps." I thought that was a good metaphor for presenting. As a presenter, we don't have to show everything in full lighting from our side. We can create some gaps and allow the audience to fill in the blanks themselves from their imaginations and their viewpoint. We do this to some extent already when we use rhetorical questions. These are questions which we pose to the audience, but we're not actually asking them for an answer. We provide that after a suitable hanging pause. What about if we actually make it a real question and source the answer from the audience? Now, we cannot be doing this every 5 minutes, as that will be a massive overkill, but we can drop some questions into our talk. We might plan to use these questions to overcome flagging energy and declining interest from the audience. This is why you never want to be lowering the lights when you are presenting. You want to be able to study the faces of the people arrayed in front of you for any signs of distraction, boredom, or tiredness. When I did my TED Talk, the audience was in complete darkness because all the lights were blazing away, hitting me up on stage and making it impossible to read any reactions. It was very unnerving, especially when you're used to being able to study the audience reactions to what you're saying. Now, when we ask a question to the audience here, they're confused. Firstly, they are not trained for this, and they are not sure if this is a rhetorical question, which we will answer, or whether they actually have to answer. The next line of confusion is who amongst the audience should answer this question. In Japan, no one gets any prizes in life for going first. So it almost guarantees that everyone will be holding themselves back. The third line of confusion is fear. They worry if they get the answer wrong, they'll look like a fool in front of everyone. They also fear that someone else will come up with a much more intelligent answer than theirs, and they will look stupid. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 5th of June, we're doing our Dale Carnegie course, 12-week version. On the 6th of June, we'll start our 3-day version of Leadership Training for Managers. Also on the 6th and 7th of June, we're doing our High Impact Presentations course. Go to our website, dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's Dale, D-A-L-E Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story, that's greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan. The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, that's Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anatomo Present no Tachijin in translation, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Budni Suno wa Yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. So, casting a question before an audience here is bound to get no immediate answer. We have to help them by setting it up. Just blasting forth with a question is a bit shocking, as this is not how things are normally done. We need to say something like, in a moment, I'm going to pose a question because I'm very interested to get your experiences and ideas on the issue. Now, we've fired off a warning shot so that when the question is unloaded, no one is surprised. We help them even further by using our eye contact and gestures to indicate to an individual or group of individuals that we want to hear their answer. By holding out our hand gesture, palm up, it is very unthreatening. If we use the pointed finger instead, that is very aggressive and will drive a shudder of fear into an audience with its power. We simultaneously use our eye contact and look at a member of the audience we are indicating to, thus requiring an answer. It is always good to pick those who are seated on the same table as you, if it were a luncheon or breakfast event, or someone you are chatting with at the start, as you will have established some rapport. Depending on the relationship, we can call out their name as we ask the question, so, Suzuki-san, what has been your experience with blah, blah, blah? We should immediately thank them for contributing and start applauding and invite the rest of the audience to join us in recognizing them. We might even say, let's thank Suzuki-san for sharing her experience, and let's also recognize her professionalism to volunteer her answer. This opens up the floor now to call on other people. We don't do too many of these at the same time. It can become a distraction. It'll also suck up a lot of time. Not everyone is able to be succinct and get to the point. You may also inadvertently discover some people who have a lot of pent-up need to talk, and they will hijack your presentation. Now you're on the back foot trying to regain control of proceedings, and that is not a good look for the presenter. At the very end, wrap up of your talk, you can again recognize those who contributed their ideas and get everyone to applaud and thank them. They leave feeling a mile high, and the rest of the audience feels you do the right thing by the volunteers. Ties a nice bow on the presentation and ends it elegantly. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.